What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Among Us will come to consoles. This is also kind of a discussion, too, on if Among Us 2 will come to consoles. So, I did a video last week. It's doing insanely well. I really want to thank all of you guys for watching that video, talking about Among Us 2, everything we know, kind of the obstacles there, when we could get it, all that stuff. That video is still up, still doing well, and this is kind of a follow-up to it. I had considered doing this one first, and then inverse.com. It's actually a really good website. They beat me to it a couple days ago. They posted an article, and I'm going to use this article to kind of walk you guys through, well, will this game come to consoles? Well, in my mind, so even before reading this article, what's probably the most difficult thing to think of with Among Us with consoles is the talking with people. Very difficult because of, one, how Among Us works, and two, how consoles work. And there's actually more parts of the console thing than even I had originally thought of. So, there was a talk on Among Us with the team. The team's only three people, by the way, so that's actually insane. Forrest Willard is one of those three people, and so he was talking about Among Us 2. He was talking about a console version, and so here's what he said. A console port is something we're starting to talk about, he said on the stream, but we'd have to write a system for quick comms, for randoms, like Rocket League. I don't know if we'd be able to implement console voice chat or not. One of the first things we want to add is a friends list type of account system, because it's so hard to do anything without it. Currently, Among Us doesn't have a built-in voice chat. Players need to either use the in-game chat room or hop on their own one like Discord. You see a lot of people, I watch Omrecker, Mr. Fruit, Cartoons, all Delirious, they all use Discord, right? If they actually want to speak to players in a lobby, Innersloth could technically leverage the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live's voice chat, but the real issue would be figuring out a way for players who don't want to use voices to play this game. Among Us would either require players to use a mouse and keyboard so they can type, which you can do, but it's not, which they even say, and that's the exact same thing I would say. It's not a good idea to use a mouse and keyboard on these consoles. You could. I've actually tried it before. It's not a good idea. Or create quick communications systems, as Willard said. This would look like Rocket League, the ping messages, or a variant of the communication wheel in Overwatch. Now, Rocket League, I believe I even said that in past videos. That's the way, in my mind, I think I actually commented it to people in the last video. That's how you do it in my mind, is you do the quick, take the shot, good save, like attacking, defending. If you've ever played Rocket League, those are some of the quick, commands or quick chats that you can say in that game. I think for Among Us, that's how you'd have to do it. The deal is this, and they even go on, a solution like that could allow players to ask where a dead body is or accuse somebody, but Among Us requires such a complex exchange of information that something like that may not be good enough. They then go on to say another potential solution could be making it only voice chat only, which would only work with friends, could get rid basically of toxic people. Top it off, Innersloth would also need to rely on the voice systems of each console or host voice chats on their own servers. The latter is basically impossible due to their enormous player volume and the fact that Innersloth is a 3-person team. So look, to answer the question, is it coming to consoles? Among Us 1, doubt, and I would bet against it. I would say absolutely not. Among Us 2, the sequel, I think is more likely, is more possible. I'm not sure. That is the biggest which is odd because like voices and sound, it is something I think a lot of people take for granted. But you do look at a game like this and look, factually, even when it came out, 2018, even to now, very, very small team, very, very small game. The game does have missing features, and the voice chat and the friends list. I saw even people saying that too. What are the two things that an Among Us 2 needs? Voice chat fixes, improvements, changes, and also friends list things. Those are like the number two. And so factually, this game does have the major weaknesses of not having it. So when we talk about coming to consoles, I mean, my God, guys, I would be on this game day one, second one. The second it loads up on the PS4 or PS5, I would be getting this game. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, it is difficult because you have to build some sort of complex voice chat system in the game where the game functions completely separate, where you can just talk to anybody you're playing the matches with, which is kind of, that would be kind of difficult for a 3-person team. And then if you do like a party chat, so like if I'm in a party chat with like 4 people and we want to go in, and then like there's matchmaking, there's a lot of potential issues with the console. And then, yeah, the problem with the Rocket League. So like the Rocket League thing is I think like a patch, like if you put a Band-Aid over a cut. But in this situation, it's kind of like putting a Band-Aid over if you sliced your arm off. You know what I mean? It's a situation where like it's okay, and like those kind of things, like a quick command of like, where's the body? And then the person can say it, but then what if the person who discovered the body is also choosing to not talk? Are there going to be options for every location? And you know what I mean? It just becomes too much where, yeah, in order to find the imposter, you have to ask a lot of questions, and sometimes even people in their wording of the situation, of what they were doing, of who they saw, of what happened, they mess themselves up where they maybe give themselves in, or maybe they are actually just a crewmate, but they end up getting themselves in trouble because they said something wrong. Those are honestly the best parts of Among Us. That's what makes the game special, is the communication between people and trying to figure out who's lying, who's telling the truth, all these small nuances. You can factually just not do that with these voice kind of commands, right? It's just never going to work. So unless they build a brand new system, unless, like Inverse says, they take advantage of the consoles, all of this different kind of stuff, which would be a bit, I mean, is it impossible? No. If they had a team of like 50, 60, 70 people, would it be impossible? Oh my God, absolutely not. The game, it would be easy. It would be easy, but it's only 3 people. Now, I don't know why they haven't expanded. Yes, the game's only really been very, very popular for a couple months now. Maybe the money is trickling in, but I would think, I mean, you can think this too. I would think that going into Among Us 2, going into 2021, the team should expand. They should have more than 3 people working on a second game. We'll see. I feel like they will. But, again, it's not a situation where they have an army. They don't have a Ubisoft team. They don't have a Sony team. They don't have a big team to do this stuff. It probably isn't all that difficult. And if they had a big enough squad, they could do it. But for 3 people to do what really is required to get it on consoles, I don't see it for Among Us. And then Among Us 2, while I want to believe it, I do think it's more possible, more likely. The final issue, to kind of end this video off, the final issue is they may just decide that it takes way too much work, because making a new game is also just a little bit difficult. It's kind of a challenge, right? And again, that's sarcasm, but they're making an Among Us 2. They're adding new locations, they're adding new roles, right? We talked about, they're doing a lot for a second game. 3 people, if they don't expand, 3 people having to do all of that, getting it in beta, getting it tested, getting the second game out. They have to do that. But then they also have to figure out, well, how in God's name would it work if we put it on console, which, yeah, a lot of stuff would be easily transferable, but then there's also the fact of the matter is the biggest thing is the communications, and we would have to, basically start from scratch there. So that is a big issue that they may just decide, well, it's literally a matter of how much time we have. We don't have enough time to do that. We only have enough time to make a second game, which I think, by the way, is okay enough. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's the most I wouldn't bet money on it. I wouldn't say it's the most likely. I wouldn't guarantee it. I do think it's possible for an Among Us 2. Among Us, there's just no way. So, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think this game will ever come to consoles? Do you think Among Us 2 will ever come to consoles? Any other videos you want me to make? I know a lot of people ask me to play it. I'm working on it. I'm trying. I'm seeing. We'll see. I do want to make videos talking about some tips on this game. I think I got some really good ideas that I want to, tell you guys in some videos. So, Among Us stuff is not over. I really, really do appreciate all of your guys' support on all of these videos. Really, you guys have been awesome. These videos have been doing really, really good, and I hope that they continue, and I want to make more for you guys, okay? So again, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next Among Us video.